or the ones that were traded, like D Ford, who was first franchise tagged, they got huge contracts. We know pass rushers are important, and both Flowers and Ford do have years left. But I think the paychecks they got were clearly a result of a barren market at maybe the key position on defense. This is going to leave some really interesting issues with Lawrence from Dallas and Clowney from Houston, because those guys got franchised this year, and most teams are not going to franchise tag a guy twice. The money just makes it untenable for most front offices. So they will get huge contracts. And to Trey Flowers specifically, this is a guy who New England let go, and I keep saying if Bill Belichick doesn't want you, you may not deserve to be paid as one of the top players in your position. But supply and demand dictated that D Ford and Trey Flowers got huge contracts. They did, and we'll see how those turn out. Other contracts I thought were awful. Maybe the biggest one, Nick Foles in Jacksonville. I just don't understand this. Foles does have a Super Bowl MVP. Good for you. But he was terrible with the Rams, and he was not really good. Matter of fact, terrible at the start of this year, filling in for the yet injured again Carson Wentz. In other words, I think we knew and know what Nick Foles is as a starter in the NFL. And it's not $56 million in guaranteed money good. It's not anywhere near that good. And I know that Jeff Fisher, he plays punching bag for all things Rams before Sean McVay got there. But it can't all be the fault of the worst mustache in football. Foles has to take some of that blame. And I think Jacksonville panicked. It was a down QB market. They were just coming off the bad relationship that was Blake Bortles. And I think they just overpaid for a guy who's not going to come anywhere near that level of play for that kind of contract. Another bad contract, in my opinion, Trenton Brown. Said it before. Trenton Brown is a good left tackle, and he's young. He's 26. But New England is pretty good at judging talent. And if Bill Belichick lets someone go, I'm probably not going to make that man my headache and make him the highest paid left tackle in the game. There are only so many Chandler Joneses that actually get better after leaving New England. Oakland was aggressive in this market, so I understand what they're trying to do here. And I think they've gotten a bad rap for the trades they made. But Trenton Brown was not worth the money they gave him, and I think that's going to turn out to be a real headache for them down the road. Now, I do want to talk about these trades overall, because I do think Oakland gets kind of beat up here. Look, I wouldn't have traded Mack, and I don't know if I would have traded Cooper, but they ended up with a better wide receiver, Antonio Brown, and they ended up with additional first-round picks, and they even ended up with another third and fifth-round pick. That's a lot of draft capital, and that may pay off for them in the future. They made some great moves in terms of trying to acquire talent this year. So while I think they made stupid moves by giving up the best defensive player in the game, Mack, and a pretty talented receiver in Cooper, I think they're making up for it and doing a good job. That's pretty much all I have for today. I appreciate you listening. Want to thank again Matt Fairburn of theathletic.com, also on Twitter at Matthew Fairburn. I hope everyone enjoys safely and responsibly college basketball in the next couple weeks. I will have more insight into college basketball as the tournament progresses next week. Please, on iTunes or Overcast or Google Play, wherever you find us, be sure to give us a like, a follow, a mention. It's important to keep the show moving forward with some momentum, and most importantly, review me, critique me. Let's make this show better. I enjoy doing it, but I really want to hear from you guys how to do it better. Email me at cinderblocksports@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter at cindersports, or please find us on Facebook at cinderblocksports. This has been Cinderblock Sports. I am your host, John O'Donnell, and have a wonderful week. Thanks again.